What's going on, YouTube? Alright, enough playing around. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to fade your own hair. Okay, so I did put a video on here like 5 years ago, and it got like 50,000 views. But, and I'm keeping it up if y'all want to check that out. But, like, I let my hair grow out all around. You can see it. I edged it up just the other day, like, or a week ago, and did that. I put that video up too about how to line the back of your neck up. But I'm gonna fade this, and I think I might split this up into 2 videos. One fading and trimming your hair, and one about fading in and trimming your beard, and also lining that up, because this is getting shaggy. So if y'all care to watch this, like and subscribe, okay? So anyway, let's get started. All right, so I got the Andes Masters adjustable. See that? Adjustable clippers. All right. So I'm gonna use guards like 0 through 4. The guards, the numbers that are on there. This is a 2. I rinsed it off, so it's kind of wet. But anyway, I'm gonna start with a 2. So for any of y'all in quarantine or afraid to go to the barbers or whatever, I understand. If you want to cut like your son's hair, your husband's hair, or if you're a dude watching this and you want to cut your own hair, I don't know how short everybody likes it on the sides. Some people like it a little longer than this. It depends on the haircut. But if you're trying to get a fade and you're just starting out practicing like cutting your own hair, I would highly suggest, even if you go down close to the skin, if you've never done this before, I would use a 2, a number 2 guard. See, there's a 2 right there. Okay, number 2 guard. And I wouldn't recommend going like, this is open, which means it's the longest setting, and this is closed, which means it's the closest setting to your skin. So I wouldn't recommend going any lower than that, just to hold off for a while. You know, I would use a 2 because see how you can see my skin a little bit through my hair because it's short? Well, a 2 still makes your hair look kind of dark, so if you mess up a fade line or something, it won't be as noticeable with a 2. If you use a 1, you're gonna see that line. It's gonna be very close to the skin. So if you don't know how to fade your own hair, I would not recommend going very short. So I would say a 2 because it still leaves your hair kind of dark. You know what I mean? But short at the same time. So I'm gonna start with a 2, and I'm just gonna do a normal. You guys can see that line right there. You can already see it. But see, it ain't that bad. It's not that bad. Anyway, I'm gonna use my handy dandy mirror right here, bruh. Oh no. Alright, so let's go. By the way, these Andes Masters, sorry if the buzzing's really loud. But anyway, these Andes Masters, man, I would highly recommend these. They're expensive, but they've lasted me a long time, and I had a good deal on them, so anyway. By the way, if you like your hair faded up here, like up top or whatever, I wouldn't recommend going all the way up to begin with. You gotta start low. See, I'm only doing a line, like a mid-fade sort of thing, but it's gonna go a little higher. I'm only doing that because I'm gonna show you guys, you have to leave room for error. You might screw up, so if you do screw up, at least you can go up a little higher. See what I'm saying? So start off low. Go slow. I'm gonna go a little quick, but go slow. Right? Just if you've never done this, just take your time. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it takes a couple hours. Your hair is your hair. Worst comes to worst, you have to shave it all off or whatever, but or get somebody to fix it or wear a hat all the time until it grows back. But I'm gonna start off with a 2. And I'm gonna show you guys what I mean when it comes down to using a 1, because I am going to use a 1, but I'm just saying, if you're new to this, I wouldn't go much shorter than a 2. Actually, I just wouldn't go shorter than a 2. So I have the 2 closed right now, the closest setting, or the shortest setting, I should say. And remember to flick out. what I'm saying? Like that, because you can see that right there. So flicking out helps. Did I mess it up? No, I didn't. Alright. So flicking out like this, flick out as you get to that line. It'll help you blend in the next layer of hair. Right. The back might not look that good right now, but that's alright, because I know what I'm doing. I'll make sure I blend it in pretty evenly. I always do this. Sometimes the line ain't straight. Well, I always fix it, so I'm on a time crunch. Make sure I'm doing all right for time. All right. Left side's not looking horrible. I mean, well, it doesn't look the greatest right now, but that's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it, guys. We're gonna get it. Now, see where we're at here? So, this is open. See, there's different notches. So when it comes to longer hair, like a 2 to a 3, which is what I'm gonna do, this isn't that important. It's usually when it's like a skin fade, like skin to like a number 1. You're gonna want to be careful with how little you move this. You know, just move it a little bit at a time to blend in the line. But being how we're up here, it's not that bad. I can just open it all the way up. Fade it up just a little higher. Flick it out. Dig into that line a little bit. Okay, see? It's already kind of blending together a little bit. You can tell it's kind of blending together a little bit by a little bit. Go slow. Don't make me repeat myself, but you okay? Just go slow, okay? It's looking all right. It's not too bad. We're gonna fade it in pretty good. We're gonna blend it in. Remember, when you have a mirror like this too, and you're doing the back, it's awkward. It's a little bit backwards, but as you practice, it gets a lot easier. You just gotta go slow and practice, like with the clipper off. Practice how to move it. You know, just shut the clipper off and go up and down like this, and you'll try to get a hang of how to move the clipper. Whatever. Always leave room for mistakes. You never know. That's why we go slow. You don't want to just dive in and think that you know what you're doing because you've seen a couple YouTube videos. You know what I mean? You want to take your time. It takes practice. I've been doing this for like 27? 9, 10 years. I think I started when I was 16 or 17, but I was not that good at it. And when I got to like 20, 21 years old, I got pretty good at it. And I've been doing it like every few weeks ever since. I did grow my hair out one time though, kind of long, slicked back like Mark Wahlberg in the movie Four Brothers, or Daddy's Home, whatever those movies are that he plays in with long hair. I grew it out like that for a while, but then I cut it back down to this. I usually rock the same haircut all the time. This tapered, faded, kind of spiked up look. See, it's getting there. It's faded in all right. You gotta move around in the lighting. Make sure you got good lighting. You know what I'm saying? Takes time. Like I said, pull it out, you know, lightly flick it. We're gonna get there. Look how crazy it looks right now. Oh, look at that. You guys are like, why are you making those faces, bro? It's so weird. Anyway, so now I'm gonna go to a 3. Now instead of being all the way closed, because a 2 all the way open, like a 2 all the way open, is basically a 3 closed. It's like it's like a hair longer, I guess. So I'm gonna do a 3 closed. I'm gonna open it up like a little bit. Okay. Halfway maybe. And just kind of jab, flick around the line, around that dark line. Just a little bit, just for a minute. How are we doing for time? Not too bad, 11 minutes. I'm going to use the camera on this one. Close it a little bit. Oops. I'll open it back up just a pinch. All right. I don't use that 3 much, just enough to. Now I might cut a lot of this with scissors, but right now I'm just showing you guys how to slowly move your way up with clippers. Oh yeah, we're gonna do a 4, pretty much closed. And I'm gonna actually do it from the front. Look from the front and try to get that line down. See how it goes out? I like that, but like I don't want it to go that far out, like a blowout. So we're gonna trim that line down just to get it in a little bit more. There's a lot of people on YouTube cutting their hair now. I'm doing pretty good. There's one guy I seen, not too bad. He's got a lot of views too. Forgot his name. But he's pretty decent at it too. I was hoping I was the only one on earth that knew how to do this. Like, people cut their own hair, yeah. A lot of barbers can. Usually they trim it a little bit. Anybody can shave their own head, but when it comes to fading, I thought I was like probably the only one, but there's a lot of people on YouTube that are actually really good at it. Like really good at it. It's actually impressive. So anyways, let's keep going. I got the 4 open. Yeah. Let's see how it looks right now. Not too bad. Alright, just to blend that line in a little better, I'm actually gonna go back down to a 3 real quick. See where we're doing all right. See, you'll kind of see where the dark spots, like there's like a little line. This is getting more blended in, but there's like some dark spots. You just gotta mess with it, you know, and keep adjusting the clipper and using different guards and whatever. Just, it takes time. You get better and better at it the more you do it. It's not looking too bad, right? It's not looking too bad. I can't really tell it now. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm doing alright. You see how I keep adjusting it? Like, you just kind of get the feel for all of it as you get more and more used to doing this. I'm sorry if the clippers are loud. I could like mute the whole thing and then like do a voiceover, but I like talking while I'm doing it. It's a lot easier. Sucks for you guys though, because you listen to it and all you hear is that in your ear. Sorry. Woo. Not looking too bad. Well, those lines are getting faded in pretty good, pretty good. Alright, this side's just a little. See, not too bad, not too bad at all. You guys might see a mistake or two, but it's alright. It takes me a while, like 20-30 minutes to cut my hair, but right now I'm trying to go slow, but at the same time I'm trying to make sure it's not too long of a video, so you know, if you look at it, you can see some areas like that, you know, this kind of goes in and then out. It's alright. I'm going to show you guys, even if you do that, don't obsess over it too much, because you can style your hair and push it with gel to make it look like there's no lines there. So I'm saying, or there's no long spots sticking out like right here. You can like style it. So even if you don't do that great of a job, don't panic. Don't panic. Alright. Use a 1 real quick. This is a 1 closed, alright? I'm just kind of lightly. See, you can see. You see where it is right there. See, when we open it all the way, we blend that line in to the number 2 that I used. So you can barely even notice. It's not too bad. I like it. I like it short around my temples. Nice and tight. Fade the beard in a little bit. Yeah, I'll do another video on that. A 1 open. And lightly. Oop, that's alright, I'll fix that. One closed. So you take a 1 and you close it to the tightest, like closest setting, the shortest setting, and you flick out, and then you adjust it a little bit, go up just a little higher, flick out, and you open it up all the way, this lever right here, and that blends into a 2 closed. See, a 2 closed, and if you're going shorter, you open this up and blend that line in right there. See what I'm saying? Alright, let's get them back now. I feel like my phone's gonna run out of storage. Guys, see that? You can kind of see the line right there. It's not perfect, but like I said, we'll blend it in. Alright, so that's a 1 closed. Now we're gonna open it up. Try to blend that line in a little bit. Probably gonna have to use a 2 again. But that's alright. Flick it out. See how there's a line right there? I'm going to close it about halfway. Flick out lightly. Get that line out. Open it back up all the way. I'm trying to flick it out to make room for a 2. To fade it in. So here's a number 2. We put that on. We were just at a 1 closed and then a 1 open. Now there's a line there, and I got to do a 2 closed to blend this in the best I can. Like I said, you want to keep adjusting and keep going over it, over the lines that you have. Maybe at an angle a little bit. Try to get those little hairs and that line to disappear. That's not too bad. I usually do better. See, how's it looking? Yeah, it's a little blotchy in some spots, but that's also because I'm irritating my skin. Let's see. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright. So let's look at the back one more time. So I did line it up the other day. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but it works for me. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Now, I'll line it up like, or do like a skin fade or something in another video. I already did a video of me talking about how to line the back up, so to shorten this, I'm just gonna hurry up and show you guys how to trim the top a little bit. Okay, so you wanna get it wet. I mean, if you fancy, you can get yourself one of these. Spray the heck out of it real quick and just get it wet. See what I'm saying? Alright, now, the way I do it. Let's see here. Sorry guys, bear with me for a second. Alright, so I got real scissors, like nice good scissors, and then I got thinning shears. Thinning shears is another ball game, but if you're gonna cut your own hair, I would highly suggest you buying some of these. See what I'm saying? Because they cut a little bit, like here. I'll show you. All right. So like, hold on. They don't really cut. See, like a good chunk. They just kind of get a little bit at a time, and it helps you blend in a line. So see how that's hanging off? See how it cuts like a little bit. Little chunks of it. Helps thin out your hair. That's why they're called thinning shears. Now, if I were to take a pair of these bad boys right here, regular sharp scissors, see, that'll just cut a straight line. Like, I'll do it up here. I'll show you. Yeah, this is not easy doing this in the camera. It's really not. See? I freehand it a lot. I just kind of spike it up like this. I kind of freehand it and just get the high spots. Work my comb back. Or you can take a little bit of hair at a time in chunks and, you know, do what barbers do or whatever. Me, because it's my own hair and whatever, I just kind of snip at it. I'm just gonna do it in the mirror. Anyway, see, just kind of nick the tops, like trim the tops a little bit. If you want it rounded, some people leave the middle longer and kind of trim it down like this. Some people do it straight across. And remember, dudes, if you ever if you comb your hair over, you flip it back. Like I kind of spike it, messy spike it, and then do this right here with the front. If you do that, you want to leave the front hair longer. Like keep it kind of up so the top goes back. You don't want to cut it all the same length because your head kind of arches. So this hair will be longer than the front hair and it looks kind of stupid. So unless you know how to style it and it's not too long, you can get away with cutting it all evenly. See, and point cutting helps blend it in, like, you know what I'm saying, point cutting all the way back. Now as far as this hair goes back here, you might be wondering. So I usually take some water, mess it up real good, spike it up, and I use this right here. I look in the mirror. Yeah, I keep moving it around. Move my head around just a little bit to see different angles, you know. I just keep going at it. See, just like that. Get those long pieces. It's a little tricky in the camera. You might think, oh, you just snipped a big chunk off. It's all right, you can't even notice it. You know what I'm saying? You can't notice it. It's not that big of a deal. Especially if you have dark hair. And there's a couple hairs that are a little uneven, it's okay. Depends on the hairstyle. If you're combing it or leaving it straight and dry a lot with no hair gel, you might be able to notice these things better. But me, I kind of get it a little messy. You know what I mean? I like mess it up a little bit. You know, style it like this sort of thing. All the way around, like any lines that, because I'm like always on the go doing stuff, so I try to do it quickly. So some days when I have more time, I do a really good job and it looks great. And a lot of times during the year I'm just so busy. It's winter time right now, so I'm not worried about it. 2021, coronavirus is everywhere. People just don't care. But anyway, see, and you just keep getting it wet, spiking it up. To see what spots are long. It might look uneven, but it's okay. Like I said, don't worry too much about how even. If it's just a little off, like see, a little off in some spots, it's not a big deal. Unless you spike your hair just like this. A lot of people don't do that anymore. I mean, some people do. But anyway, if that's the case, then you want to take. Okay, sorry guys. So I just realized the phone I was using ran out of storage because the video was so long, so I'm using my wife's now. But anyway, so I didn't realize it stopped recording. But anyway, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more about trimming the top, okay? So like I said, wet it real good. If you have hair like mine, you know, some people's are a lot thicker, some are curly, that's different. But if you got hair like mine, this will work. Thicker hair, it'll work too. So anyway, so I look in the mirror just like I'm looking in the camera, and I try to move it around a little bit to the right, you know, a little bit to the left, and it does kind of go comb back when I do that. So I try to do this too, separate it, comb the front down, comb the back up. If you like your hair shorter than mine, by the way, you can always find a number 6 or a number 8 guard, which usually comes with any clippers. A number 8 is the biggest one. You can open it all the way up. It's kind of harder to cut your hair and keep it cutting good, but put a number 8, open the adjustable clipper up all the way to leave room, and then, you know, go over your head, and it'll be about an inch long. Like this is about an inch long, or an inch and a half, see what I'm saying, on the top of my head. The front of my hair though, I keep longer. I don't know if I explained that. I think I did explain that, but I don't know if the video was recording. But anyway, try to keep the front a little longer, so it doesn't look stupid. Because your head shape, you know, if you have it all the same length, like people with a buzz cut, you can tell like it starts growing higher up in the top of their head, and it's just like weird. That's how it looks anyway, because the top of your head is higher than the rest of your head. So anyway, like to get this area, I always wet it, and then I mess it up a little bit and pull it out, and then I use my mirror here and look, and I chop at it. I don't know if you guys were, if I showed you how to cut your bangs. Anyway, wet your hair a little bit, all right, to cut your bangs. Comb this down. I already cut them, but comb this down. Now, some people like straight bangs, okay? So I try to keep the middle of my bangs, like the middle here, a little longer because the way I spike it and move it around. So take your scissors, keep combing it straight down, okay? Do it just like that. A little bit at a time. Keep combing it. See how I separated this hair from this hair? Now I'm gonna spike this up. See how even it looks? Looks pretty good. Right in here's a little bit. I'm free-handing it right now. You get better at it the more and more you do it. I'm just gonna use the mirror because it's easier. But anyway, I might not have explained this the best, but just take your time. You know what I'm saying? Move your hair around. If you spike it up like me, spike it up and then slowly just kind of freehand it and step back, look forward, whatever. Now, if it's not 100%, don't worry about it, okay? Because you can always style your hair kind of messy, like this. See? My hair's a little messy. It's styled like people won't even notice. It just looks like a little messy of a spike. Most people don't have those straight spikes. You know, some people, not if I dried it and just let it hang down. See what I'm saying? Not bad, right? It's not too bad. So if you especially with dark hair, if you have a messy hairstyle, you have dark hair, you kind of just keep it a little shaggy looking or whatever, don't worry too much if a few hairs are a little longer than the other ones. Now, big chunks missing and really short spots and long spots, that's different. But if it's like a little bit off, you know, like let's say that for that, it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? You can't even notice it. You really can't. So, plus you're cutting your own hair. It's like it can be difficult. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys real quick how to blend in with thinning shears. So get your hair wet. So now I got to blend in my long hair up here to the short hair. Right there. I already blended it in pretty good with the clippers, but so I'm going to just show you a little bit. So I'm going to comb all this to the side. Okay. So here's my right side. So hopefully you guys can see this well. Anyway, oh, my son's out there fussing. Anyway, I'm gonna lightly use the kind of like just the edge of them at an angle and go around and chop at that line. Hey, not too bad. There's not really much work to do right now because I already faded it in with the clippers pretty good, but which is possible. See? Hopefully you can see it. It's not too bad. There's not a strong line there. Looks pretty good, right? Hopefully you guys can see. We'll do the same thing with the left side. Get a little bit wet. Yeah, you can tell some of that hair is not blended in the greatest on this side. All right, same thing. Comb it over to the side. Make sure the teeth are down. And slowly chop at it. It's kind of a little bit of a flick while you do it. You might pull your hair a little bit, but use the tip. See? And I usually go like this in the mirror. I look straight in the mirror and then I chop at these hairs that I see. These are thinning shears, remember. So they won't cut a lot. Like you could go right here, see? Barely did anything. It just thinned it out a little bit. So that's the cool thing about using thinning shears. They don't do a lot of damage. Now we're gonna do the back. Same thing. They're a little bit wet. Comb it down. And then chop at it. Get those heavy spots. If you see anything heavy, like a big bulky spot or something, get up in there and don't be afraid to chop at it with some thinning shears. Not too bad. Now some of this area looks dark in spots, but that's also because of the way my head is. I have like bumps and it creates shade. So if you look at like this, you might see some dark spots. It's just the way my head is, and the shade from like the lighting makes it look like it's still dark. But then if you go like this, you can tell it's all the same length and even. For the most part, there's still some blotchy spots back here. Need to be faded in a little bit better. Just a little bit. Not too bad. Not too bad. Anyway, I'm gonna call it quits for now. I'm gonna line it up myself. I don't want you guys to have like a 30-minute long, 40-minute long haircut video. So, but anyway, just take your time. Like I said, get real close in the mirror. And you know, see, it's not too bad, right? Get real close in the mirror and look, just freehand it a little bit, you know. Use the point cutting technique. Get some thinning shears. They're not that much. You can go to Sally's Beauty Supply, even Walmart I think has them. In the beauty aisle. Now, I highly recommend this too. I don't think this is probably that good for your hair, but if you get it's a nice thick gobbledygooky glue. So if you didn't fade a line in very well, just take some, make sure your hair is more dry. Mine's damp right now, but so you take some good gel, and then that line right there, see, if there's a line there that you didn't fade in too well, just take some gel, put it in there and move it a little forward, maybe backward, see what I'm saying, depending on what side of your hair, and just play with it a little bit, you know what I'm saying. If you missed a spot, that's how I learned when I started out. I used to just take gel and kind of push that line around, and it would look like it's faded, but it was actually gel, until I actually learned how to fade those lines in really good. You see, looking at me from a few feet away, that's not bad, right? Not too bad. The back, I'm gonna fix the back. I know it might not be the greatest, but at least you guys have an idea of, like, you know, how to use it. It's not too bad. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos, bruh. See, there it is. Finished product. Okay. Not bad, not too bad. See, I styled it. You can mess around with it. I just gotta cut my beard. I'm gonna show y'all how to, like, line this up and fade in the sideburns. Thanks for watching. Deuces.